Okay, today we're doing law of sines, and it's section 5.3.2. You guys at home, I'm going to send your books home for you so that you have your book. But if you need access to the online book, remember you can go to sso.cpm.org, and our class code is V4LJE. So you can sign up for the online book if you haven't already. You have to sign in with Google. Okay, Kellen opted out of reading our intro, so I'm going to read it. Okay, in problem 74, you used complicated strategies to find the lengths of sides and measures of angles for non-right triangles. Is there a tool you can use to find angles and side lengths of non-right triangles directly using fewer steps? Today you will explore the relationships that exist among the sides and angles of triangles, and we'll develop a new tool called the law of sines. We're actually going to skip this first problem, you guys, so don't do 83. Can you guys label in your notebook 84? And I'm going to kind of teach you guys law of sines differently. It's not differently the book does it. We're just going to get there a different way than they want you to. We're not going to do the proof. I'm going to give you guys the equation. So you guys need your note cards probably if you don't already have them. Kids at home, I'm going to send note cards home for you to make note cards because you'll actually need them. Kellen, I think I had you pre-make them. I think I had you pre-make them yesterday. Law of sines. Okay, the first one says, when Madeline examined the triangle at the right, she said, I don't think the diagram is drawn to scale because I think the side labeled X has to be longer than 4 centimeters. So when you get back, Kellen, I'll have you guys look at that one. It says, do you agree with Madeline, why or why not? So, Kellen, does X or does 4 have to be longer?
4.
Well, look at your angles. If it's a bigger angle.
X has to be longer.
Yeah, Emily, why does X have to be longer?
Because the angle is smaller.
Yeah, so, yeah, the angle for 4 is smaller. So if you guys look at this, this is actually getting to what law of sines is about. Kellen, can you see this too? So this angle, see how that angle across from the side is bigger than this other angle across from this side? Do you see that? If the angle across from it is smaller, doesn't it make that side length shorter?
Yeah.
If the angle across from it is bigger, then it makes that side length across from that bigger, right?
Yeah.
If it's smaller, it's going to be smaller. If it's bigger, it's going to be bigger, right?
Yeah.
So that's what law of sines is all about. If the angle across, or the side across from the angle is bigger, the angle is bigger. Like, they correspond with each other. So that's your guys' answer to 84. Do you think X has to be bigger, or do you think 4 has to be bigger? Look at the angle. Yeah, X has to be bigger. So you would agree with Madeline. X has to be bigger than 4. It doesn't look like it in the picture, but it is. Okay, Layla thinks that X can be found by using right triangles. Review what you learned in lesson 5.3.1. Okay, that's the part we want to skip. I don't want to do the right triangle thing, you guys, because it takes too long. It's actually not the best way to do it, and you guys are learning the best way today. So we're going to go to the next part. Okay, 85 says, I think that's Tui, and Ivan came up with 2 different ways to find the height of the triangle below. Using right triangles on the left, or the right triangle on the left, Tui wrote the sine of 58 degrees equals h over 12. Is that a true statement? Is the sine of 58 h over 12?
Mm-mm.
Which side is opposite? H, right? Which side is the hypotenuse?
25.
You have to look at this one. So it's 12. So he's right, right? So that's correct. Ivan also used the sine function, but his equation looked like this. It said the sine of 24, so look at 24 degrees, equals h over 25. Is h the opposite and 25 the hypotenuse? Yeah, so is he also right? Yeah, those are both right. So they have 2 equations to find h, right? And that's really what the law of sines is. It says that there's these things that are equal to each other. So it says, which triangle did Ivan use? The one with 58 degrees or the one with 24? I'm going to use the one with 58 degrees, right? Calculate H using Tui's equation, and again using Ivan's equation. How do their answers compare? I'm going to give you guys a second to actually calculate this, so if you don't already have your calculator out, go grab it. Kids online, I'm probably going to try to send your calculators home with you too so that you guys can do this stuff. So go ahead and calculate both of those things.
You're doing Ivan's one, right?
Mhm. Yeah, you have to do both of them, Kellen. So just start with one of them.
How far out on the decimal do you want us to go?
Just do one. Okay, if you guys didn't already do this, you should have the sine of 58 degrees equals h over 12. Then what did you do to get h by itself, Kellen? Did you multiply by 12? Yep. So you get 12 times the sine of 58 degrees equals h. And what did you get for that, Emily?
10.2.
Okay, so 10.2 is approximately h, right? The other one is the sine of 24 degrees equals h over 25. So you have to multiply by 25. You get 25 times the sine of 24 equals h, and you should get the same thing, right? 10.2 is approximately h. So that's the point they're getting at with law of sines, is you can do two different things and get the same thing, right? So you kind of have two different ways to go about this, and that's what law of sines is going to do. So I'm going to give you guys the law of sines, and then we'll write it down on our note card. Okay, so this is super important. You guys actually really need this. So this is the law of sines. So Kellen, copy that triangle down. And with the law of sines, you guys, this is kind of a special thing because you don't have to have a right triangle. I don't know why I was looking at that. Okay, so do you guys see how I'm going to write this and then I'm probably going to go back and erase it. So angle A, the side across from it is A, right? Angle C, the side across from it is C. And angle B, the side across from it is B. So what they're saying is because those angles correspond with the side across from them, if you have a bigger angle, you have a bigger side, right? If you have a smaller angle, you have a smaller side. They're saying that if we make some ratios here, this should all be proportional because bigger angles correspond to bigger sides and smaller angles correspond to smaller sides. So I'm going to go back a little bit so I can erase these. So when we do this, you guys can see this actually on your math notes on page 314 if you want to. It's the same diagram. So if we say the sine of angle A over the side A, that should be proportional to the sine of angle B over side B, which should also be proportional to the sine of angle C over side C. It's important to make sure you guys have the right capital and lowercase letters on this because the capital letters are angles, the lowercase letters are side lengths. So go ahead and get the law of sines written down, and we're going to do a bunch of examples. Okay, so we're going to try one of these. So if you guys have your flashcards, make sure your flashcards are out. So they want us to find the measure of angle A, right? So we're going to have to use this side to go with angle A. We're going to have to use this angle to go with B. We don't have anything for C, so we can't use C as a proportion, right? So we're going to say the sine of 89 degrees over the side that goes with it is 24, right? Did you already have that, Kellen? Yep. Equals the sine of angle A. We don't know the sine of angle A yet, right? That's what we're trying to find. So we can't write anything there. Over, and the one that goes with angle A is 12. So this is where you guys can kind of use your sombrero. Remember, you multiply these and you divide by this, and you should get the sine of angle A. So we'll have 12 times the sine of 89 degrees divided by 24, right? And it should equal this other one. So it should equal the sine of angle A. Do you have that written down, Kellen? Can you write that stuff down? That one's important. And then I'll take your answer. Okay, so this is actually one thing I want to bring up. Kellen typed this in exactly how you guys want to. So Kellen typed in the sine, or 12 times the sine of 89 first, right? And you pressed enter, and then you did divided by 24. You guys can do it that way, which is good, or you can put parentheses around this whole top part when you type it in too. Either way is fine. You just want to make sure that division is the whole thing, right? So Kellen got 0.499 equals the sine of angle A, right? So there's one step we still have to do to find out what the measure of angle A is, though. We know that's the sine of angle A, but we're not really looking for the sine, right? We're looking for the measure of the angle, right, Kellen?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do the sine inverse of both sides. Remember, sine and sine inverse are the opposite. So the sine inverse of 0.499 equals angle A. And Emily got 29.9 degrees is actually the measure of angle A. So that would be your answer. That's kind of long. So the measure of angle A is 29.9 degrees. Okay, let's try our second one. Okay, so if we do 2, we're trying to find the measure of angle B. So here is B, and this is the side that's across from B. Here is C, and this is the side that's across from C. So Kelly, you want to watch this again, then it'll just reinforce it. Okay. Okay. So we are going to do the sine of angle B over the side that goes with B is 19 equals the sine of 110 degrees, and the side that goes with 110 is 32. So then we multiply diagonally, and we divide by this one. So we do 19 times the sine of 110 degrees over 32 equals, I'm running out of room, the sine of angle B. When you type that in your calculator, you should get 0.556 equals the sine of angle B. I'm going to have to do the inverse. So sine inverse of both sides. So the sine inverse of 0.556 equals the measure of angle B. Make sure you guys put that little m because we're really finding the measure, right? So then when you take that sine inverse, you should get 33.7 degrees is approximately the measure of angle B. Depending on how you guys round, you could have gotten 33.8, right? So, which if you guys are a tenth of a degree off, I'm not going to mark you off for that on anything. So I'm going to erase this and we're going to try another one. Okay, so I'm going to go through this. I'm going to write the first step down. And then I want you guys to try it on your own. So we have the measure of angle B, and this one goes with B. The measure of angle C, and this one goes with C, because we're trying to find B, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to do the sine of 65 degrees. And which one goes with 65? 28 equals the sine of angle B over, which one goes with B? 25. And then we're going to multiply diagonally and divide. So I want you guys to try that on your own.
This way, right? You go here and go backwards. Okay.
Yep. So try that on your own, and then we're going to go back and do the answer together.
0.08 or 0.80.
Okay, write it down. And then you have to do the sine inverse, right? Looks right.
53.9.
Yep, you guys got the same thing. Degrees, right? Both of you missed degrees. Okay, we're going to go back through this. Just to recap, you're using the angle across from the sides, right? Those are the ones that go together. So that's how we set this up. So then we have 25 times the sine of 65 because we multiply diagonally, right? Then you divide by the other one, which is 28, equals the sine of angle B. When you type that in, what did you get, Kellen? 0.08. Okay. 0.0. Oh wait, 8. 0. And I think
9.
Emily got 9. We'll use that one. You guys still got the right answer in the end, so that's fine. And that equals the sine of angle B. Right? Then we have to take the sine inverse to get rid of that sine. So we get the sine inverse of 0.809 equals the measure of angle B. And what'd you get when you type that in, Kellen?
53.9.
Yeah, so we'll just do 53.9. It is approximately the measure of angle B. So there's your answer. Circle it. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, I'm going to highlight the stuff on 4 that goes together, and then I'm going to have you guys try it on your own. So B is a complete angle with the side. So we know we're going to use B, right? Those two go together.
Is that 20?
That is 20. And then they want us to find A, so here's A, and the one that goes with A is 15. So try to use that to solve this on your own. Pause it until you guys are done, and then we'll check our answer together. You guys are going to get a lot more out of this if you do try these on your own and don't just wait for the answer, because I'm not grading you on your answers on this, so it's probably best if you try on it.
Just to make sure, B goes with 20 and C goes with 59, right? Or is it? And A goes with
Yeah.
20.
Wait. B is 59, yeah. And then the one that's across from it is 20, right? A doesn't have one, but the one across from it is 15.
Okay.
Sine.
So the sine of 59. And which one goes under it?
Or the
Yep, 20. Okay, I'm going to go through this with you guys. So you should have had the sine of 59. You could have also had the sine of A here. As long as your proportions are together, it doesn't matter which one goes first. Over 20. Whoa, did not write over 20.
0.64, and then you get the
Equals the sine of A over 15. So we need to multiply and divide. So we have 15 times the sine of 59 over 20 equals the sine of A. That doesn't look like an A, but it is. What did you get for that part, Emily? 0.642. Okay, so 0.642 equals the sine of angle A. We have to do the sine inverse, right? So the sine inverse of 0.642 equals the measure of angle A. What did you get, Kellen? Oh, you have to do, oh yeah, did you get the same thing? Good. So 39, you guys are 0.2 off, so, but that's okay. 39.9 degrees is approximately the measure of angle A. You could have gotten 0.7 also, and that's okay. If you guys are within 0.2, that's fine. Okay, let's try the last one. Or not the last one, but the last one we're going to do. So let's try problem 5. So go ahead and write it down, and then I'm going to have you guys try this one from the beginning all on your own. All right, our class just ended, so I'm going to go through this with you guys really quick to check your answers. If you need to pause still because you didn't finish, go ahead and pause until you're finished. So on this one, C goes with 20, and then we want the measure of angle B, so we need B, and the one across from it is 12. These ones are kind of tough to see which ones are across from it. So you guys should have the sine of 33 degrees over 20 equals the sine of angle B over 12. When you do that, you should multiply diagonally and then divide. So you get 12 times the sine of 33 over 20. Emily, will you leave your work there so I can lick off of it? Okay. So then when you guys put that in your calculator, this is sine of angle B. You should get 0.326 equals the sine of angle B. I'm going to put my work over here. So sine inverse of 0.326 equals the measure of angle B. My work's getting kind of sloppy, sorry guys. And when you type that in, you should get the measure of angle B is approximately 19 degrees. So I would try that problem 6, you guys, on your own, and then go ahead and do the homework. When you guys are on Schoology, you can actually go where it's listed as homework, quizzes, and tests under our course on Schoology. Click the homework, and when you click the exact homework assignment, it shows you what problems. But I want you to also submit it on Schoology. Don't send me an email with your homework unless you really can't submit it on Schoology. Click the homework part and submit it on Schoology. So you'll click the homework assignment, and there should be a tab that says something like grades and submissions, and you'll click that, and there should be a plus sign when you do this on your phone. It's easiest on your phone because you have to upload a picture. So there should be a plus sign, and it'll say upload a photo or something like that, and you could just submit it on there. It's a lot easier to keep track of on Schoology than it is through email. So I want you guys to try to do that. Do your homework. If you guys have questions, make sure you email me.